Welcome to SciSpectrum Lab Essentials, your source for equipment, instrument, and consumables.
Sounds like a simple question, right? But the answer? It's way more complex than you'd think. The air all around us is this cocktail of gases, tiny particles, and pollutants. And it's constantly changing, from one room to the next, even hour by hour. So the real question is, how on earth are we supposed to know what's in it if we can't even see it?
Well, to get to that answer, we've got to first figure out where all these unseen pollutants are even coming from. And, a lot of the time, they're just byproducts of the modern world we built for ourselves.
You've got the big stuff, of course, huge industrial sources like petrochemical plants and power plants. But it's not just that. Pollutants also come from really everyday things. Think about the smoke from cooking dinner or just the exhaust from driving our cars. All of these things are contributing to that invisible mix that we're breathing in every single day.
So that's the challenge, right? The air is full of stuff. But what if there was a tool that could take all that invisible information and translate it into something we could actually understand? A way to finally see what's in the air we breathe.
Well, guess what? That tool actually exists. And today, we're going to take a look at one specific device that's designed to do exactly that. It's built to be our eyes, to give us a really clear picture of the air right around us.
And here it is. This is the Lutron PM-1064SD air quality monitor. Just look at that display. It's designed to give you a ton of information all at once. You should really think of it less as a gadget that takes one measurement and more like a complete dashboard for the air you're in.
Okay, so what is this thing actually looking for? It tracks 5 key measurements that, when you put them all together, paint a really full picture of your air quality. Let's break them down.
First up, it measures something called PM2.5. These are teeny tiny particles from stuff like dust and smoke that can get deep into your lungs. Then it tracks carbon dioxide, CO2, which is a fantastic way to tell how fresh or, stale the air in a room is. And of course, it also measures the basics, things like relative humidity, temperature, and even barometric pressure, which is cool because it can show you how weather patterns outside are affecting your air inside.
But here's where it gets really clever. The device doesn't just throw a bunch of raw numbers at you. It takes all that data and boils it down into a single health index, rated from 0 to 9. So instead of trying to figure out what 5 different numbers mean, you just get one simple score. It tells you, at a glance, the overall quality of your air. It's all about making the complex stuff super simple.
Now, getting a single snapshot of your air quality is definitely useful. But the real power of a device like this, it's the ability to see how that quality changes over time. See, this isn't just a monitor, it's a data recorder. And this really gets to the heart of it. You don't just want to know if the air is bad right this second. You want to know why it's bad. Does it get worse when you're cooking? Does opening a window actually make a difference? Understanding those patterns, that's the key to making real, meaningful changes.
So how does it record all these patterns? With something we're all super familiar with, a standard SD card. That's it. The device just saves all of its readings, along with a timestamp, right onto that little card. And this super simple process is what turns all that raw data into actual insight. The monitor does its thing and records. You just pop the SD card into your computer and boom, the files open right up in a program like Excel. There's no special software to install, no complicated steps. You can start hunting for those patterns right away.
What's really cool is that you also get total control over how often it records. You can set it to log data as often as every 2 seconds if you want a super detailed look at something, or you can space it out to once an hour for, say, long-term monitoring over weeks or even months. That kind of flexibility makes it useful for pretty much any situation you can think of.
All right, let's switch gears and quickly go over some of the practical details. The nitty-gritty stuff you'll need to know to get this device up and running.
When it comes to power, you've got options, which is nice. You can go portable with 6 standard AA batteries, which is perfect for testing different rooms or even taking it to different locations. Or, if you're planning on doing some long-term monitoring in just one spot, you can just plug it into the wall with a DC 9-volt adapter. So, right out of the box, the monitor comes with an instruction manual to get you started. Things like the power adapter and the SD card are usually optional, and that makes sense, because it lets you customize your setup depending on exactly how you plan to use it.